We've just gotten the gameplay reveal of Liberty Falls from Call of Duty Next, our first look at live gameplay of the map, and I'm going to be having lots of videos coming up on the channel. One, going over all of the storyline information that we've learned from the gameplay. The second one is summarizing all of the new gameplay specific information that we have learned. The third one is actually going to be talking about DLC maps, because it seems like we've already got an indication as to what the DLC is going to look like in that game, and that kind of ties into the topic of this video as well, because people are mad, extremely mad at Liberty Falls. Literally, look at my comment section that you can see on screen. Everyone absolutely despises what they have just seen, and the Black Ops 6 Zombies hype has just taken a massive dip just now. We obviously had Terminus revealed a while ago, and everything was looking so promising. Everyone was getting so excited. They have been doing everything that we could have asked for. It's apparently one of the biggest maps ever. It has the most side quests ever, but there is this other map, and it's always been described as a simpler, more easy to understand and jump into map, and that is of course Liberty Falls that has just been showcased to us. And I think because Terminus was revealed first, it changed people's expectations for Liberty Falls, and they were expecting it to be way bigger, way more complicated than meets the eye. People right now are saying that the map looks extremely bland, boring, just like the Cold War Zombies maps that seemed just to be, you know, Warzone or multiplayer inspired. They didn't have a unique atmosphere. People are saying that this is happening yet again with this map. Now, there's a few different ways that I want to tackle this. Firstly, I do agree with you. The map does look relatively bland. However, I think that's kind of the point of the map. Like I said, it's meant to be a simple map, kind of catering towards multiplayer and Warzone fans as well, so they can jump in and play it. And we are still going to have Terminus for those more hardcore players on the launch that does have a rich atmosphere. Right now, I'm kind of just wondering what the DLC is going to be like, because it all depends on how the DLC is going to be. If this is just a one-off map, a really easy map, a map that doesn't have a unique atmosphere, that's completely fine, like I said, if it's just a one-off. But if this proceeds into the DLC, then we're going to have a problem. I'm hoping that all of the DLC maps are like Terminus, where they all have rich, unique atmospheres and don't just feel like a multiplayer or Warzone experience. But that's not what we're getting with Liberty Falls. Like I said, this is very much dependent on how the DLC is going to go, and if you are not a fan of how this map looks, like I said, you still have Terminus to play, and there is going to be a main quest on Liberty Falls. Whilst it is the easier map, it's still a lot more complicated than, say, the Giant in Black Ops 3. You still have a main quest to do, and of course all of the Easter eggs and stuff like that were turned off in the gameplay, so we don't really get to experience the full extent of what the map has to offer. Now, speaking of the DLC, Treyarch have actually announced, and this is huge, and I'm going to be making a whole separate video about this, like I said, that we're going to be getting DLC 1, a new Zombies map, before the end of the year.
You know, what do you got in store for us and beyond that in the live seasons?
So what I can say is that the next map is going to be coming by the end of this year.
Oh!
And that is going to be
round-based zombies map.
really setting the tone for how all in round-based we are this year.
Yeah, that's quite significant.
Now, judging the game releases in the end of October, I assume it's probably going to come in December. I guess theoretically it could come with Season 1 in November, but I'm thinking probably December, but, you know, like I said, maybe it's going to come even sooner. So if you are thinking, you know, Terminus is not enough for you, and this map doesn't really satisfy you, there's a map literally to come soon after. And I think a big reason why people are hating on Liberty Falls so much is, like I said, they saw Terminus first, so they got their expectations up thinking that this would be of the same caliber, even though they've always marketed it as having a simple layout, as being small, as being the casual map. That's what they've always said, but I guess people got their expectations up. And also I think it's because of the Liberty Falls intro cutscene being so good, of course featuring Richtofen. It's such a beautiful and awesome intro cutscene. People probably got very hyped by it and were like, maybe we're going to be playing as Richtofen on this map and all these crazy things. And then the actual cutscene doesn't really have anything to do with the map itself. We can't even play in the mansion he was in. So people started to think the map is actually way larger than it actually is, because they saw this mansion, they saw the underground place where there's the containment chamber, they saw this giant factory in the background, all of these things that could be potentially future maps, and then they thought it was all just a part of Liberty Falls, and then were disappointed when they saw it was so simple, even though that's how Treyarch have always described it. People are definitely getting way too ahead of themselves right now. It's just so strange how people are acting like Black Ops 6 Zombies was the best thing ever just a few weeks ago. Now it's the worst thing ever and doomed to fail. Acting like they've just been wasting their development the whole time. Literally, so many comments are saying that. It doesn't make any sense. They've been working on this for 4 years. We've seen Terminus is rich. Clearly, they have been doing something with their development time. Yes, Liberty Falls has probably taken a lot less development time than Terminus, but like I said, they're trying to strike the balance between having hardcore stuff and casual stuff as well, especially regarding the fact that they're going to be doing guided quests weeks after the main one's release. There's still so much about this map that we don't know, considering we haven't done the main Easter egg and the side quests were turned off as well. And another very important thing to point out is that this is unfinished. Liberty Falls is not done, the game is not done, and of course we're not that far out from release, so it's not like the map's going to change a crazy amount by the time it releases. But for example, there's no infill cutscene when you actually spawn in on the map. You literally just have a loading screen and then spawn in suddenly. It's a bit jarring, and considering Cold War Zombies had infill animations for literally every single map, it's very weird. So I have to assume that that's probably unfinished and they're probably going to have it ready for launch. So it's little things like this that will definitely add to the map that might be getting touched upon for release. And of course, one of the biggest complaints has been about the HUD and how it looks so similar to multiplayer in Warzone, and it's pretty much the same one as Cold War Zombies, more or less, a bit cleaner. And I really hope that Treyarch can respond to feedback on this, because it has been one of the biggest complaints we have seen thus far. And whilst there are different presets you can choose from, so you can remove the minimap, you can remove the XP markers, etc., all of the stuff that you don't want on screen necessarily, and you can even remove the HUD entirely, it still doesn't have a zombies vibe, such as the one in Black Ops 1 with the blood splatter, or Black Ops 3's really cool HUD. And there is a preset that will place all of the HUD icons in a similar way to Black Ops 3's, and it won't have things like the minimap, etc. However, it doesn't look like Black Ops 3's itself, and considering this has been one of the biggest complaints, I hope that Treyarch are able to take this on board, because we're a couple months away from launch, and honestly, it is within Treyarch's power to change the HUD for launch. Even if they don't change the HUD entirely, just changing the Black Ops 3 HUD to look like Black Ops 3's would be a perfect way to get around this. Many different fans have actually created their own custom Black Ops 3 inspired HUD, and wouldn't this be awesome if, you know, there's still this regular HUD that you can use, but then you can choose to just have Black Ops 3's. I think this would be a perfect way. It would definitely make Liberty Falls look a lot better, and the other maps in the game, of course. And I'm a bit surprised about all of this hate, to be honest, because I thought people knew what Liberty Falls was about. They've always described it as the easier, more casual, simple map. This has always been basically the bonus map. Yes, it's going to have a main quest. Yes, there's going to be more to it, but at the end of the day, this is just the map for leveling up weapons. It's fast-paced, quick action. You jump in, you can get Pack-a-Punch straight away. It's not complicated at all. Maybe the main quest will be, I'm not sure. We knew weeks ago what the HUD would look like. We knew that all of the Cold War Zombies' systems were returning just slightly different from what we had revealed before, so I don't know why people are acting so shocked by this when it was already revealed, when Terminus was revealed. Yes, we didn't know exactly what Liberty Falls atmosphere would look like. We just had the short little snippet from the teaser trailer, but it gave us a kind of overview of what it was going to look like. I do agree Liberty Falls could be better atmosphere-wise. You know, even bonus maps like the Giant in the past, they still had rich atmospheres, even without a main quest, and they were always just maps for just getting to high rounds and having fun, quick action, like I said, and that's what Liberty Falls is yet again. I think it's kind of the curse of the daytime map. Daytime maps just tend to not look as good. I think Treyarch have made a mistake in making the map look too bright and sunny. It's taken place simultaneously with Terminus, so it has to be set in the day with Terminus at night. However, the map is literally taking place as this evacuation has ensued with loads of buildings on fire. It would have been a good idea to have lots of fire on the map and ash and smoke in the sky to give it more of a moody atmosphere. I think that's what they should have done. They shouldn't have had it so sunny. I don't know why this was done. Maybe it's because they just want to have, you know, a very simple atmosphere that's kind of similar to Warzone to attract those fans. I guess that could be it. But I do think if it was a bit cloudier, it would look a lot better. For example, Shangri-La is another daytime map, and it's one of the most beautiful maps we have ever gotten. And that's partly because, of course, it's taken place in the Himalayas. It has these beautiful ancient ruins and structures, but also the sky is a bit cloudy, and the skybox is very beautiful as well. I think Treyarch should have maybe looked at a map like Shangri-La to help inspire them for how they do the atmosphere for this map. Now, yes, the atmosphere is not too crazy, and I totally understand all of the criticism for that. It's probably not going to change for launch, though. However, what I will say is that YouTube is compressing the map a lot, and the people who live streamed it and at Call of Duty Next were streaming at a low bitrate, of course. And YouTube just doesn't handle bright maps very well when it comes to compressing the gameplay, because it's harder for the systems to distinguish the different light palettes when it's a bright map. if a map is darker or if it has many different tones, when it compresses, it's easier to distinguish the different lightings. I think because of that, YouTube's compression is making the map look a lot worse than it actually is, and it's kind of all just bleeding into one another, and it's making it look all really mashed up. Now, yes, I don't think the map has a phenomenal atmosphere by any means. However, I don't think it's quite as bad as the gameplay is making out. For example, when DMZ was first revealed, I thought it looked absolutely terrible because, yet again, it was streamed from Call of Duty Next, and it made the map look a lot worse. When we got to play it, it still didn't have a crazy atmosphere or anything like that, but it didn't look quite as bad as the gameplay we saw. So I think you should take that in mind. We'll have to see once we actually get to play it for ourselves, because I don't think the early gameplay is our best interpretation, because it is making the map look worse and compressing the footage, whereas the Terminus gameplay we got, for one, it was provided by Treyarch, so it was at the highest quality, but also I think YouTube's compression just works a lot better with a nighttime map that's darker and gloomier. It is also very strange that there's no new enemy types on the map. The vermin are back, the spiders, and it doesn't really match the aesthetic of the map. Of course, they're on Terminus, and it matches that jungle island vibe, just like Zetsubo no Shima. I don't know why they are here. The Manglers are back as well, and they make sense to be on the map aesthetically. It would have been nice to see a new enemy type to make the map stand out and differentiate itself. Like I said, it's very much dependent on how the DLC plays out, if this is just a one-off map or if there's going to be others like this as well. And considering the fact that we're getting a map very early on, there have been leaks saying that we're going to only get 4 DLC maps for Black Ops 6 Zombies. However, considering there's another one coming before the end of the year, it has me thinking that maybe there's actually going to be more than 4. If so, I hope that Treyarch can announce that, because then it'll hopefully temper the community's moods, who are really angry right now. It's really weird just how short-term memory people have. You know, everyone was so excited from the Terminus reveal. Liberty Falls has just been revealed, and now people are acting like it's the end of the world. You know, just a few weeks ago, people were acting like this game is the saving grace, the holy grail, and now suddenly it's the complete opposite of that. People just have short-term memory. They're only thinking about the here and now, what is being presented to them now, how their emotions are now. They're not really thinking about the bigger scale of things. So, you know, we're going to have Terminus, which is going to have the most side quests ever. So we're still going to be hunting Easter eggs probably on this map a month, potentially even 2 after release, like we did with Shadows of Evil back in the day. And at the same time, there's also going to be Liberty Falls, and there's going to be a new DLC map releasing soon after launch as well. So I think there is plenty for fans to enjoy. And yes, we are going to just be playing as operators on this map, but we have a main crew on Terminus. So I'm hoping that in the DLC, the main crew is going to be on all future maps. Now, there is the possibility that I guess maybe we're going to, you know, go back and forth between a main crew and just operators. Of course, you can choose operators on Terminus as well, but there is a main crew that has rich dialogue that'll talk to you during the Easter egg and, you know, give you story-related stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say. I understand your concerns that Liberty Falls is a simple map, but I think that people are overreacting. At the end of the day, we still have Terminus, and we still have DLC 1 coming out soon after release. This map is purposefully simple, purposefully simplistic. Yes, it seems like multiplayer in Warzone, but that's done on purpose, like I said. And if you want to enjoy a different experience, a more rich experience, you have the other map to enjoy. Now, there's lots of area outside of Liberty Falls, so I personally think that we're not leaving Liberty Falls for a while, and we're gonna see some future maps here, but I'll talk more about that in that video coming out soon. But without further ado, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video very soon. Lots to talk about. Bye.